What is up, fight fans, and welcome back to the channel. If you thought all the action was supposed to be inside the octagon, you were dead wrong. A massive brawl just erupted at UFC 322 in Madison Square Garden, and you will not believe who was at the center of it all. Just moments before the main card was set to begin, chaos broke out in the crowd, and videos are already flooding social media. It looks like none other than Dillon Danis got into it with members of Khabib Nurmagomedov and Islam Makhachev's team. This wasn't just some pushing and shoving. We're talking a full-blown melee that required a swarm of police and security to break up. Eyewitnesses and clips from the arena show several people involved. But the two main figures identified immediately were Dillon Danis, an ex-UFC fighter Abubakar Nurmagomedov, who is Khabib's cousin. In the footage you can see security physically dragging Abubakar away from the scene while UFC's own chief business officer, Hunter Campbell, was right there in the middle of it, trying desperately to de-escalate the situation and restore some order. Now, for those of you who have been following the sport for a while, this story has some deep roots. Dillon Danis has never actually fought in the UFC, but this is now his second major altercation at a UFC event, and both have involved the Nurmagomedov camp. Remember UFC 129 back in 2018, after Khabib submitted Conor McGregor. He famously leaped over the cage to attack Dillon Danis, who was serving as McGregor's grappling coach. The build-up to that fight was incredibly toxic, filled with personal insults, and that post-fight brawl became one of the most infamous moments in UFC history. It resulted in suspensions and fines for everyone involved. At the time, many thought the beef had been settled in the cage, but clearly, that was not the case. The bad blood that boiled over in 2018 is still simmering, and it just erupted again here in New York City. The history here is undeniable. Danis was a key part of McGregor's team, and the rivalry between the McGregor and Nurmagomedov camps is the stuff of legend. It seems like any time these two sides are in the same building, tensions are bound to flare up. It's like a powder keg just waiting for a spark, and tonight, it exploded. We're still waiting for more details to emerge. Who threw the first punch? What exactly was said to trigger this massive brawl? As more videos and reports coming from people who were there, we'll get a clearer picture of what went down. It's a pretty ugly scene for the sport, especially at such a high-profile event. In a legendary venue like Madison Square Garden, you have police, top UFC executives, and multiple fighters all getting pulled into this mess. The big question now is what happens next. Will there be any legal consequences? Will the UFC or the New York State Athletic Commission take action against anyone involved? Danis isn't a UFC fighter, but Abubakar is a former one and is obviously closely tied to current fighters. This could have some serious ripple effects. It's a reminder that sometimes the biggest fights in MMA happen outside of the cage. The rivalries are real, the emotions are raw, and the history runs deep. What are your thoughts on this? Is this just a continuation of the old feud from 2018, or is there something new that set this off? Drop your theories and reactions in the comments below. We'll be keeping a close eye on this developing story, and we'll bring you updates as soon as we get them. It's a wild night for the UFC, and it's far from over. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates on this breaking story. We'll see you in the next one.